Hello everyone, and happy fucking holidays, you filthy animals. Welcome to Whatever the Bleep I Want, the show where I talk about whatever the bleep I want on our exclusive holiday special. Sit back, relax, put on your Christmas pajamas, grab some fucking eggnog, I really don't care, it's the holidays, and let's get on with the show. Hello everybody, and happy fucking holidays. Welcome to Whatever the Bleep I Want, the show where I talk about whatever the bleep I want. I am your host, Carly Lewis, and per usual, there is a mature content warning. If you are under the age of 16, I would highly advise that you get a parent's permission before listening in. If not, don't tell them, clear the fucking browser history. Anyways, welcome to our first ever holiday special. This was filmed completely on a whim. I had no idea what I even wanted to do for this episode, so I figured, why not throw in a holiday special? Let's make it nice, let's make it festive, and just good. I don't know. I can't find the right words for it. I guess I really decided to film this because we were on the tail end of Hanukkah, and then, Christmas is right around the corner at the time of taping this. So I figured, yeah, let's do this. I'm down for some mushy-gushy, crinkle cutter cookie bullshit. I don't know. And my family, surprisingly, we have a few funny stories about some holiday mishaps, but I really wanted to film this, or tape this more so, because, again, like I've said in a few episodes prior to this, it's different this year, celebrating the holidays with whatever you celebrate, because we are in the midst of a pandemic. We have vaccines starting to roll out for frontline workers and the elderly, thank God. But again, it's different. And I'm emphasizing this especially during this time because a lot of families are not going to get to spend time with each other this year due to the coronavirus. And it's hard. It's a really sad thing to think about. And I know, I try to keep this podcast a little lighthearted, but at the same time, we also have to acknowledge the fact that the holidays are going to be very different this year. So if you're at home and you're experiencing some loneliness, or you feel like you're not going to spend time with those you love this year, you're not alone, you're loved, it's all going to be okay. Once we start doing what we do, this pandemic will go away a lot quicker. But anyways, on to some more happier stuff. Again, I was trying to figure out, per usual, what to talk about for this episode, and it was really hard to find a sincere topic or something funny, but I knew, especially with all the crap happening in the world, we had to do something funny, something lighthearted to get people's spirits up. And what better way than to talk about the time our house almost caught fire on the holidays. Yay, because, that's something you want to share with the grandkids when you're older. Now, our family, we have a lot of traditions on Christmas, as per any family on any holiday. Our tradition, or one of them, is that we bake, we cook, we do the whole, 9 yards. We are a very culinary heavy family. But one thing that we do that's very special, dessert-wise, when we have the family over for the holidays, is we light a plum pudding. However, one year, that did not go as planned. And here's the story with that. So like I just said, we get our plum pudding out, and I'm not going to say which relative was in charge of lighting the plum pudding this year, but we get it out, and we're all happy, we're all having a great time, and it came time to light it. And what you do to light a plum pudding is there's a small, edible fluid that you place on top of it, and you get your matches out, and you light it on fire like, it's a fucking satanic sacrifice. I don't really know how to describe it, but For all the families out there that have plum puddings, you know exactly what I'm talking about and what I'm referencing here. So, yeah, we did our thing, we had dinner, we had the family over, and I believe this incident happened in 2015. It was right before I was set to go to college, and we get this plum pudding out, and we pour the liquid on top of it, and we light it, and we're thinking, oh, it's so beautiful, and we turned off the lights, everyone had their phones out and was filming, and then disaster struck. One after one, like little fireballs just decided to piss all over our wooden table. And before we know it, a small bit of chaos erupted. I remember one of my other relatives saw this, and I think they immediately ran and like jumped over the plum pudding, or they had to like get a towel out and fan it. But oh my goodness, like that table was a little burnt. Thank God it wasn't anything serious. Now, this is not where the story ends. Oh no. While this might be a shorter episode than per usual on the podcast, it gets way better. So we're all recovering from what just happened, and I got really, really bored. So I'm thinking, well, what better way than to make the most of this and to laugh about it? And I realized that before I went to art school, I had to submit a short student film or a few short student films. And it could be just something you recorded on your iPhone, but you had to edit it. And it had to kind of like show off that you knew some basics to get into this art school. And I had footage of the plum pudding cake. And I've seen all these films like Cloverfield and Twister, like these natural disaster, monster movies, where they shoot everything like it's a real-time camera, like it's a person going out there and filming, which is like a very authentic feel. So I figured, why not do that for the plum pudding and make it like it was a true horror story? And that's what I did. I shot it, I had footage on my iPhone, and I put it through an app, and I just... oh my gosh, it was so funny. It had a dramatic opening and everything, and then end credits where it listed everyone and what they did in that particular situation. Like, so-and-so put out the fire, so-and-so caused the fire. And oh my gosh, it was so damn hysterical. And funny enough, I submitted that short film, and it was one of the things to get me into my university, into my alma mater. And it's just something I like to laugh about, because with everything going on, again, we have to have that sense of humor. We have to find the silver linings in bad situations. So with that said, and again, I am sorry that this episode is shorter than usual. I'm getting ready for the holidays myself. My family is, and we have a lot going on. So this episode is going to be short, sweet, and simple. But here is the advice I would have to give with this story. First off, I would say, again, we covered this a little bit in episode 3, but try to find the humor in things. Don't let this pandemic or anything else bad in your life stop you from celebrating the holidays. Try to find the humor in situations where things might not be so humorous and you might be stressed out. That was my biggest takeaway from this whole shit show, and it was something that I took with me for the rest of my life, and I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life going forward. I've had a lot of personal issues going on in my life lately, so it was really refreshing to go and look back on this little holiday travesty and realize that you can laugh on the bad while learning from it and going forward. And with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. With whatever holiday you celebrate, I hope it's a good holiday. And I cannot wait for you guys to tune in next week when we start finally talking about pop culture opinions. We are going to shift from stories and life advice to pop culture opinions, and we're going to tap into the more controversial side of things. So I cannot wait for you guys to listen in. and I will see you all soon. Hey, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Whatever the Bleep I Want. Please make sure to follow, subscribe, leave a review. I really don't fucking care on whichever platform you're using to listen to this podcast. Thank you for writing in on our bullshit, and we will see you next week.